How to have self confidence and continuing to know yourself. So, first of all, I want to start off by having self trust, right? Having self trust is that trust that you hold yourself that you know you can do anything. You know you can do that. You know if someone was to ask you to do this, like they know you can fulfill it, right? So you have to become like this really dependable person. And it doesn't matter how any way. It could be by through talks, through work, through just a service that you know and people know you as, and basically just put yourself in this concept that I am good at this skill. I'm good at this skill and nobody else can do it better than me, right? But it's not just about that, right? Self trust is just a self identity. It's just a self thing that you have within yourself. Even if it's not about that skill that you know how to do good, it's about in general, about do you have self trust to do anything, right? Like, let's say, for example, just put it like in a hypothetical, you have a lot of subscribers, right? But then all of a sudden your YouTube channel gets deleted. You will have this self trust because you know yourself really well that you will regain those subscribers or even gain more just because of that scenario that happened, right? So it's just kind of like a thing where you put yourself in a concept where you can do anything, right? And nothing can stop you. Like, you have no limited beliefs, and that self trust is always gonna have that power demeanor over anything. Having self trust is like you trusting your mom to make you food. That's how it works. Like, she's gonna make you food, right? It's like that. It's that simple. So another thing is that I feel like a lot of people still care about other people's opinions. Like, man, it's like what 2024. Like, what does it matter if people talk about you? Like, there's a lot of hate going on in the internet right now. Which I wonder how people like, have you ever realized that it doesn't really matter? Even if they tell something like through social media or even in person, like if people like tell you, laugh about you, like ignore it. Like, there's no like, why would that affect you? Why would that affect your confidence? And I would understand why. Probably a lot of people grew up in a space where people were just being mean to them, being in a judgmental environment, and which kind of makes sense, right? But what I'm trying to say is that over time, or just in general, you should start realizing that nothing matters when it comes into opinions. Opinions are just opinions, and you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts about what they're saying about you, your overthinking thoughts, your negative thoughts, it's not you. You're just yourself, right? So you have to train your mind. Train your mind in a way where every negative thought that comes in your way, it could be by a hate comment, by a hateful person, and in the real world, or just in general with yourself. Like, you can be your biggest hater, right? It doesn't matter. Like, simply enough, it doesn't matter. Like, one thing that I would tell you, just like recommend you, is that just take a deep breath and just think about the most positive thoughts about yourself. What have I accomplished? Who am I? Like, who you are. Like, and even if you don't know who you are, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get to that soon, right? But just think about the most positive outcomes, because now you're training your mind. Every time a negative thought pops, you're training your mind to think of something positive. So automatically you're thinking positive, right? So also, I want to talk about another thing, right? I want to talk about ego. Ego, right? You do have to release that ego. If you want to fulfill actual confidence, actual self beliefs, you have to release your bad ego. Your bad ego is is a presentation of a false image that you've been an experience that you've been growing up to, and it's completely normal. It's just natural, right? We're humans. We're our minds is like a computer. Like, whatever we grew up with, whatever we coach, we put up in our mind, it's like how we live. It's like our instincts, right? So I want you to think about your ego right now. Like, what is the false image do you have right now? Who do you think you are, right? Who are you trying to prove, right? And realistically, ask yourself if you're yourself. Truly enough, if you're yourself. If you're not just an acting character, I mean, are you yourself? A lot of y'all probably gonna say yes, but at the end of the day, you know, if you're proving somebody on who you are, it doesn't typically mean the case, right? So what I'm trying to say is that you need to start converting that bad ego now into a good ego. What is a good ego? So now a good ego is like it's a better situation for you. It's still ego. Don't get me wrong. Ego is still ego. Everybody has an ego, no matter what. Like everybody has an ego. It's like a natural thing, right? There's always gonna be men wanting to be stronger than the other man. There's always gonna be men wanted to be better than the other one. Wanted to be like it's inevitable. Like it's a real thing. Like ego is a real thing. So why not convert it into a good ego? A good ego is you being yourself. You being yourself. You implementing the self image that you want other people to look at yourself. And you knowing damn well that nobody can be like you ever, right? So having this good ego is gonna build that self confidence because you know who you are, you know what to do, you know the things that you're good at, and you just have like this good percentage concept of yourself, right? And that's kind of like one of the things that can really, really, really stop the limited beliefs around you, because now that you have a good ego, you have a good mindset, you have a good positive mindset, you have a good perspective about life. So all the limited beliefs that you grew up into, like they're automatically just gonna disappear, right? So way to start knowing yourself is that every day just find a room, just go to your room or find a place. If you don't have a room, go to a place where it's gonna be dark, and just for 20 minutes just ask yourself questions. Who am I? Why do certain things make me sad? Why do certain things make me angry? Why do certain things make me happy? What makes me happy? What do I love to do? Who are my friends? Why are they my friends? Who do I truly love? Like, ask yourself questions. You are your own, like, you know yourself better than anybody. Like, I'm just giving you advice. Like, I don't know you at all. I don't know who's watching this video, but all I know is that, man, we are not different from each other, and we are not separated a lot. We're similar, man. We are similar, right? So what I'm trying to say is that if you can find yourself, no, if I can find myself, you can find yourself as well, right? So one thing also is that this is just kind of like the mental way, kind of like the spiritual way. At the end of the day, you still have to work hard. You still have to go through hard things. You still have to go to the gym, go for a run. Put yourself in an uncomfort zone. Look out for mentors. Buy courses. Put yourself in zones that a lot of people wouldn't put themselves into. And a lot of people don't want to be, or don't want to do that because they have an ego. They have an ego. They have a false image, right? They're trying to prove people wrong, which is totally not the right case. But when you have a good ego, now since you know who you are, since you know what you want to do, you're gonna be a student of life, no matter what. Like, you're gonna be a student of life. You're gonna want to learn all this information. You're gonna want this information because it's gonna make you stronger, right? So you have to eliminate being hesitation. You gotta eliminate negative thoughts, eliminate those hesitation moments, because once it comes to the hard parts, you gotta take action. Like, you have to go there and put yourself in a pedal. Never stop going. Put yourself in a pedal and keep going, keep working no matter what, right? And like I was mentioning, man, like this thing, like, you have to automatically change your self concept, like change who you are, but not really. The only thing you're changing is just a mindset. Your mindset has been programming you to think belittle of yourself, have you in a limited corner. When at the end of the day, man, this whole world is all yours. This whole world is all yours. You have to take over it. But yeah, man, that's just how to build your self confidence. Just real quick, before I leave, just follow my Instagram, follow my TikTok. Speak about the game all over the world, all over the ways, all over the concept, and every terms in life that any values can change your whole world, right? But yeah, man, it's been Fredo Saga. Let's leave it on the mention expansion with some new game, and let's put it into the real world. Let's get it.